From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen and proudly welcoming you to our second hour on this Thursday, August the 31st, 2017. We're looking at a storm, another storm, Tropical Storm Irma. Have you heard about her? Well, she's forecasted to become the fourth hurricane of the 2017 season as it gains strength in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the Weather Channel, they're quick to say that it's not a threat to land yet. And one meteorologist predicted Irma could become a Cat 4 hurricane, much stronger than Harvey. The storm center was 590 miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands, moving west at 10 to 50 miles per hour, according to the Weather Channel. Forecasters expect Irma, which earlier packed winds up to 60 miles per hour, to move to an area in the Atlantic that contains upper-level winds, helping it to intensify. National Hurricane Center said on its Facebook page today, this morning, that Irma's winds have increased to near 70 miles per hour and could become a full-fledged hurricane this weekend. Storm expected to continue moving westward, the center noted. Now, the Weather Bell meteorologist Ryan Mayu was telling USA Today that Irma will likely become as powerful or even stronger than Hurricane Harvey, developing into a Category 4 or 5 storm near the Leeward Islands off the Caribbean. The Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast still feeling the effects of Harvey, by the way. Still rain. As you know, landed near Corpus Christi as a Cat 4. Continue to dump water through Houston and the surrounding areas. The result has meant record flooding throughout the southeast and Texas. The Weather Channel said Irma remains too far out to know if it will become a threat to the United States or, more likely, the Eastern Caribbean Lesser Antilles. Early predictions by forecasters on social media, folks, at this time varied greatly. How so? The latest GPS model has Irma becoming a Cat 5 hurricane, but turning out to sea as a tropical storm hurricane in the Gulf that just goes the other way, and kind of like a fish storm. And then one says issuing a tropical storm advisories. We need to watch this. A lot more folks out of New York and Miami. Breaking National Hurricane Center will initiate advisories on Tropical Storm Irma with the next update at the tropics on Twitter. These storms can shift. This could be a real reality for the United States next week. Category 5, folks. Keep on watching the storm. National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, the Weather Channel, online, just on this holiday weekend. Make sure, a lot of you are taking off and driving. Regardless of what it does, make sure you stock up because, you know, it's going to eventually, it's going to be a storm somewhere. Things are so ripe out there. I would not be surprised if we don't get another hit. The currents are just right, and they've predicted several more storms heading in this direction. So who knows? We pray that it doesn't happen. Pray that's a fish storm, but they say it's too early, and there's the latest. There's a new Trump poll, and I'm looking at this on theblaze.com for my reference, and the question is asking, is Trump tearing the country apart? And here's what Fox News poll says. A new Fox News poll shows that a majority of registered voters believe President Donald Trump is tearing the country apart. But he gets high marks for the economy, terrorism, and Hurricane Harvey. A new Fox News poll released yesterday, which would be Wednesday, registered voters were asked whether President Donald Trump was drawing the country together or tearing it apart. And the results? Surprising. We're going to get into this. I see a little Fox News backdrop here. Just imagine if you're watching television. Tearing country apart, 56% said Donald Trump is tearing the country apart. Drawing the country together, 33%. And this is August 27th through the 29th. According to the Fox News poll, only 33% of registered voters say Trump is drawing the country together, while a majority, 56%, saying he's tearing the country apart. Other results from the Fox News poll, August 27th through the 29th, support the notion that Americans believe things are getting worse in America. When asked if they were satisfied with how things are going in the country, the share of those satisfied had fallen 10 points since April to 36, and those who are dissatisfied has grown by 11 points since April to 64%. And on the positive side, Americans are more positive about the country, with 36% of Americans saying that the economy is in excellent or good shape. The positive rating for the economy is the highest it has been in Fox News polls since 2004. So Trump's net approval rating is the worst yet for him in the Fox News poll. And Trump likes Fox. In addition, a record 55% of voters disapprove of jobs that he's doing as president, while 41% approve that a net negative by 14 points, and his worst score to date in April, around 100-day mark of the administration, his ratings were at a net negative 45 to 48%. Trump's first job rating on the Fox News poll is the only one that's been in positive territory, 48 to 47%. That was February 2017, just a month after he got in. The president got positive ratings with running the economy, on terrorism, and on Hurricane Harvey in the poll. But he rates poorly on North Korea, taxes, immigration, Russia, the environment, and health care. His worst ratings is in race relations. His worst ratings in race relations. And Trump promised to drain the swamp, but he hasn't. Well, he said he was. There's a lot of changes that have happened in Washington. We knew that draining the swamp wasn't going to be easy, and Americans must understand that Trump is one man, relying on many to get the job done. There's only so much at the end of the day, but as a good CEO, I mean, the buck stops here. But let me shed some light on a few things here. Besides the media, which largely carries the water for the left and propagates their message, that's been very damaging in itself, in my opinion. Congress not being able to get the job done. Healthcare, very, very big disappointment. Some in the polling here with North Korea and immigration, taxes, the wall's not being built. There's preparation. The wall is being built, but not fast enough, so people are a little weary on that. Taxes, it's not happened right now. It didn't happen. It's not happening. There's a lot of gridlock thanks to the bureaucrats in Washington. A lot of people say he's not being tough enough on Russia, on North Korea, healthcare, and just disappointing. There's a lot of problems in the country. He's not the first president to have bad ratings, and I don't think he's going to lose sleep over it, but I think he sees this as you're hearing this, and it's could be discouraging for any president that's there. But Donald Trump has been down you've been down. The country's been down. And folks that believed in Donald Trump, I think, need to keep on believing because it's believing in America. This is a poll. We have had some images that have been shown in Charlottesville, and that was very sad and very disturbing, and it's not a surprise. But did Donald Trump cause Charlottesville? Did he cause the flooding in Texas? Did he cause North Korea to be provocative? Russia to be aggressive as they are? But a lot of voters are saying he's not being tough enough. Now, North Korea, I've said this and I've been saying it in a show of force. We've just yesterday flew over a couple of our nuke bombers. That is a show of force. I believe that there's going to be some kind of military drop-off, let's just put it that way, from a few people that I've spoken to at the Pentagon, off the record, so to speak, that something's going to go down. So just brace yourself for that. Now, they have stuff underground, so to be able to penetrate to where their nukes are, they may have to use some kind of nuke to get under there to destroy their arsenal. They're going to have to be hit so hard, pulverized so hard, it's not even going to be funny. And there will be definitely a rippling effect from all of that. I've made my recommendation, as crazy as end of the world it is, where you get an ark or something like that, or you some of these sci-fi movies, they stick people in caves or whatever. I think they need to just get people out of South Korea with transport planes from the military, from all countries, all our allies anyways, and load people up and get them out, because that's going to spare, folks from anything that Kim can send to South Korea from the north. To me, that would be smart. That would be prudent. But they're not going to do it. Unfortunately, that just makes sense. One thing I am confused about, too, with saving people, and it's a little perplexing. But again, maybe the mayor's right, that the mayor of Houston was saying, yeah, we didn't tell people to evacuate because they said it would have caused more gridlock on the highways, and more people would have been stranded and dead in their cars, and the death toll would have been more substantial because people wouldn't be able to get out in time, and it just was a mess as it was. So I don't know. That is really difficult to make that call. So that's going to be scrutinized for some time for the decisions that the mayor and the judges and the officials there in Houston have made. But that's just a big mess there. Poor people there in Texas. But North Korea is definitely a problem, ladies and gentlemen, and it is not a comforting thing for a lot of people, because I don't think our audience is war hungry. I am certainly not, and I'm not looking forward to any loss of life, but I would like to minimize as much as possible, and I just do not think that we're thinking through on how we might be able to seriously get people out of South Korea now, because it's inevitable. These people will not sit down. They don't care what China says. They don't care what the UN says. They have flown over Japan, and they will do it again, and they will get further. And if they launch something at Guam, they're going to kill a lot more people. And they haven't shot any of it down, and he knows it. So what happens if something is programmed to hit something, and then they can't shoot it down? Well, it's too late, because they're not making these decisions. Oh, it's just going to splash in the ocean. It's not going to make it. This one has a nuke on it. Or the trajectory gets screwed up, the wires are crossed, something bad, something malfunctions. Oops, there goes several million people.